Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sledgehammers, where we seriously discuss, debate, and analyze recent events, mostly in the world of cricket and maybe some other things as well. I'm Vinny, and with me are two ex-club cricketers that I have both played with and against. We have Lalu from California, who is also an accomplished level 2 umpire, and we have Tarang from North Texas, who in his heyday was famous for his sledging on and off the field. So, first of all, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on to this show, podcast, whatever we call it. It is nearly 20 years ago that I remember two of you getting into an incident on the cricket field where you all were exchanging blows.
Just one?
That was 20 years ago, and 20 years later, you're here laughing about it. So, do you mind talking about what happened then? Because I remember y'all were exchanging blows and playing for the same team.
We were not exchanging blows. We were exchanging talks that felt like blows. Not physically, but they were more hurting. They were more abuses.
If I remember right, Tarang, you were at extra cover, and Lallu, you were at point. And
No. I was
suddenly you all
bowling.
started.
I was bowling, and he was the keeper.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Did
Yes.
he drop the catch or something?
No, he rolled the ball back, and they took a run, and I was. They shouldn't have run, so it wasn't his fault. But I'm like, why give an opportunity? But it wasn't about it. It was just bullshit, right? We were as immature as Virat Kohli still is, and Rohit Sharma will always be. So, you know.
Lalu, your recollections from that incident?
I chalk it down to, high amount of intensity and passion. To date, I don't think I've played with somebody that is more passionate on the cricket field than that.
Thank you. Thank you, Lalu.
We will discuss week 2 of the IPL 2024, a week that saw Mumbai and RCB drop to 3 losses in a row. Chennai, that started 2-0, are now sitting at 2-2. Sunrisers, with their rest of the world squad, are above Gujarat Titans in the points table. And Delhi, with Rishabh Pant, are looking like Delhi without Rishabh Pant. So where do you want to go?
How about RCB? How about RCB?
Yeah, I mean, I started with that, right? Mumbai and RCB both losing 3 in a row.
Okay.
So where do you want to go?
So let's start with the elephant in the room.
Okay, which is
Virat Kohli, right? The question is, today, does Virat Kohli deserve a spot in any T20 international side as a batsman? Okay. Does Virat Kohli deserve a spot in RCB as a batsman? Does Virat Kohli deserve a spot in any professional T20 side as a batsman in modern day cricket if the team is playing to win, right? So his today's strike rate after playing 73 balls, right? 72 balls, 113 runs, 1.569. I love Virat Kohli as a player in all other formats, but I think he's outdated. So the more balls he plays, the less the team's chances to win. Because at this strike rate, right? At this strike rate, his team is always going to score less than par or par, and he will need people to play out of their skills, right? Last year, the last game that he scored 100 on, 62 ball 100 on the same ground, Shubman Gill came and scored a 40 ball 100. This today, Josh Butler in the same game scored a 59 ball 100, right? So he's always 10, 12 balls ahead. So he's eating 2 overs if he plays long.
So Virat's strike rate was 156, right?
Yes. After playing 12 overs, 73 balls.
Right. Don't you think that there's probably a missing component of somebody coming in and scoring at a 250 strike rate and scoring a 8 ball 30, which most teams have, and somebody is playing one role, and there are other roles that people are not contributing to in that team, or do you think it's just Virat
So
needs to change?
it's a combination. It's a combination of those things. And Hemant, I'll let you talk right. Lalu, I'll let you talk right after this. But so the thing is, they were 10 overs, 89 for no loss, right? 120 for one. And if you compare to the king, right, or the opening batsmen who are dominating, and I'll talk about each one in each team. Shubman Gill, okay, when he goes, or Josh Butler, when they go, they take it on with 9 wickets in hand. Who is he waiting for? Is he waiting for a new batsman to come in? Is he waiting for others to take that baton? And there is no role of anchor. Okay, I would rather have 4 people play 72 balls, right, and divide 18, scored 18 ball 30s or 18 ball 35s, right, and the score would be 140, and whereas he only scored 113. Okay, so where I'm going is he has to take the initiative. He cannot hide behind the fact that hey, I'm the anchor role and some people will come and play at 250 strike rate. When he's playing that many number of balls, the more balls you play, the more comfortable you are. Are you expecting somebody else to play that?
Your thoughts, Lalu?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, obviously I'm a big fan of Kohli. And I even once, I'll admit, I bravely predicted that he would not be a good test batsman on Fun Asia Radio. But obviously he proved me wrong. If you were to go by past accolades, obviously he's been a man of the tournament for the T20 World Cup. Single-handedly won quite a few games. But to me, the most important thing in a team sport is composition, right? What we see with Faf and Kohli are that they're almost the same type of players. And you look at every other IPL team, you usually have either both going all guns blazing, both the openers, or you have one kind of going all guns blazing, and then the other sort of plays the second fiddle. For the amount of money they spent on Cameron Green this year, obviously he's been a big disappointment. Glenn Maxwell for the last, I'd say 2 seasons. Last season was odd for him, but this season definitely he has not showed up. I think he's got 35, 40 runs in 3-4 games here so far. So I don't want to blame the rest of the folks because obviously Tarang has a valid point. After you play 72 balls, you probably want to end up, almost closer to 160, 170 strike rate. But 156 is not bad. It's just the others have not showed up. I think that's been the biggest disappointment. As Tarang mentioned, you'd rather sort of split it up and have other people get a chance to try and.
So Hemant, can I add something to the question is, I'm also taking the question, does he deserve a spot in the international side? Okay.
It's the question
And
you
I will
only asked,
do,
but okay.
So, yeah,
but
so that's,
I will give,
that's obviously the second point, right? Does he deserve a spot in the current Indian team? Yeah, I do think so. I do think maybe it's a chance for Kohli to probably play a new role. Given the way T20 teams are set up now, or the balance is that the top 3 sort of players get a bulk of the overs, and you probably want your top 3, to do that. But India just has such a plethora of talent. With Jaiswal, who hasn't really clicked in this IPL yet, but obviously, if you go by the past 12 months, he's on fire. Rohit Sharma, again, he's probably in the same bucket as Kohli. He's probably on, the tail end of his career. So, but I still think he can contribute a lot. He's probably facing the same issues in Mumbai Indians. So I think the question about his spot will also come up. Does Kohli deserve a spot? Yes. Does he deserve a spot as an opener? Probably not. Because
so
I think
let me just
better.
add one data point. Okay.
Sure.
So we have lost 3 World Cups in 3 years. Okay. And 2 of them were T20 World Cups. And in the 2 T20 World Cups where we lost was, his best is not good enough. He scores 40 ball 50s, 60 ball 80s. okay, and the opposition on the same pitch, right, run ragged, okay, and we have those players. There is no more an anchored role. The thing is, this is a team sport, and at some point we have to decide: are we going to do the same things and expect different results? Are we going to do things differently? Because we haven't won a T20 World Cup since 2007, since IPL 16 IPL started. There have been 16 seasons already happened, and this is the 17th season. So I'm just using data to prove that are we going to do the same thing again, right? That role of anchor in ODI, that ODI anchor does not exist in T20.
So I guess the argument can be made both ways. If you have the right combination, team composition, according to Lalu, then maybe Virat does have a spot because you do need somebody who can consistently get those 40 ball 50s if the others are playing at 180 strike rate. But if you don't have a bunch of others, if you have another Rohit Sharma and you have other people who are going to play those kind of innings, then there is no spot.
But if the goal is to keep Kohli in the team because he's great, or is the goal to win the tournament and then have, instead of Kohli, have somebody who doesn't take 40 balls for 50 but scores 27, 25 ball 50s and replace him?
Well,
So
you can have a mix of youth and experience, like somebody used to say. All right, let's move past
Yes.
Kohli.
So one last question.
Yeah.
Last question. Narang, who are your current two openers? Let's say the World Cup starts tomorrow.
So right now, I've actually made my team, so I can tell you. My World Cup starts tomorrow. I would open with Jaiswal and Gill. My number 3 would be Surya Kumar Yadav. My number 4 would be Sanju Samson, keeper batter. Number 5 would be Rinku. Number 6 would be Hardik Pandya. Number 7 would be Jadeja. Number 8 would be Kuldeep, the left arm wrist spinner. Bumrah 9, Mohit Sharma 10, and Mayank Yadav 11. And my backup pacer would be either Khalil or Mohsin. My backup spinner would be Chahal. My backup middle order batter is Riyan Parag. And my backup keeper, right, is between, I did not write the name, so Hitesh Sharma or who's the keeper that I'm forgetting?
Dhruv Jural.
Huh?
Dhruv?
So I did not put Dhruv because he's not keeping in this tournament. Oh, Rishabh Pant, the guy who has just scored 250. So I put that. We'll need a couple of more weeks to decide, but that's a backup keeper batsman. But this would be my team.
That's awesome.
So you don't have the current captain, assigned captain in the team, basically.
So Agarkar said that current assigned captain, right, was at that period of time. Based on IPL, we'll determine the team and then choose the captain.
Yeah. Can you send me that team just in case Agarkar reaches out to me? I can pass it on to him.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to Mumbai. Same story there, Rohit? Or is there a captaincy issue right there? Is that the reason? What's the reason? 3 losses in a row? Or is it just, this is the team? They've been doing this for the last 3 years. Doesn't matter who the captain is.
Hemant, you want to go first? And I have a strong point. I have 3 points on this.
No, go ahead. You can go. I'll defer.
So my 3 points on Mumbai are that if you look at this has been the core of the team since the last auction, right? And they've not had a proper spinner, right? That could actually attack the batsman. Last year they got lucky because what's his name? The 40-year-old leggy who's Piyush Sharma. 40-year-old leggy is bowling 4 overs, and he got lucky last year, and they barely made playoff, but they could not survive there, right? They didn't really have a chance. So they're bowling
it look
outside
like
of
Shabla, like from last year to this year, he has had lunch at a few more buffets in the off season.
I think he's gained weight and he's lost some of his zip because he's playing from IPL to IPL every year. So last year, the reason he was picked in IPL, right, by Mumbai Indians was because he had played Syed Mushtaq Ali. But in last 1 year, he has played nothing. And Mumbai Indians did not pick a single spinner throughout the auction. So that is my first point, that they don't have a spinner. And by individual brilliances of Sky, they were able to win some games, right? I think Mumbai Indians have done the right thing by removing the non-performing captain for last 5 years. So Rohit Sharma as a batsman hasn't performed in last 5 years, less than 23 average and a strike rate of 133. Okay. Last 3 years of IPL and captain, right? In 3 years, they barely made playoff one time, and that too they couldn't survive the onslaught in the first game. So as a captain, he hasn't done anything. And so the management decided that, hey, let's bring the most successful captain from the franchise who can build the team and who's for the future, right? And they brought Hardik Pandya in, right? Now, Hardik Pandya this year, by expecting that their team is going to do well, and fans are very irrational like I am. I'm a Gujarat Titans fan. When he left, I was pissing at him, right? But he just went to he got a bigger role in a bigger company, right? So I should be okay with it. They will have to win games at homes, otherwise fans are going to think that their money is not worth it. But they are not going to win if they open with the same guy who in last 5 years has average of less than 23, Rohit Sharma. Okay. So, and why is he coming so late? Why does he, if he's the captain, show up as a captain and make the tough calls? Drop Rohit Sharma down, right?
By the way, do you want to get your disclaimer in?
Oh, so my views here about Mumbai Indians, right? They are solely my view as an individual and not representative of BP or Castrol as a company. We really respect and we really cherish our partnership with Mumbai Indians, and so these views are about about my psychological safety outside of work, where I use such forums to let my emotions out. I still respect and cherish the partnership as a BP employee with Mumbai Indians.
Cool. Lalu, do you need to make any claim or disclaim?
No, no disclaimers.
Okay. All right. So,
I have a counter
the
to
first
that.
time in
Yeah.
Mumbai that a captain has been booed. The whole Mumbai crowd, over the last 20 years, they had only 3 chants. There's not been a lot of innovation in the chanting in Mumbai over the years. There was Sachin, that's all over. There used to be a chant of Gali Gali Mein Shor Hai, Pakistan Chor Hai. And there was the other chant, Ganpati Pappa Moria. One player used to be booed, and that used to be the chant of Shastri Hai Hai. Shastri Hai Hai. And this has been going on long after Shastri retired. Long after Ravi Shastri retired, that used to be the chant. Finally, after 20 years, they have a new chant going on with this Hardik boo. Hemant, what are
So
your
can
thoughts?
I correct? I want to correct you on that. So in 2010, Sachin Tendulkar was booed in Wankhede Stadium when India lost to England and we lost to the left-arm pacer Monty Panesar, who took the wickets. And Sachin Tendulkar was booed in Wankhede Stadium. So I saw the video as an afterthought. And why I'm bringing that up is the Mumbai crowd, right? The Mumbai crowd at home has some history of booing even their stars if they are losing on home ground when they think that we should not be losing. Okay, go ahead, Hemant.
So again, this goes back to the same point I made earlier, right? I think Rohit Sharma and Kohli, probably at this stage, I don't see both of them making the Indian team, at least in T20s. Obviously, Kohli is the #1 leading scorer in IPL. If you want to go by that measure, Rohit Sharma is the #4 leading scorer in the IPL. The guys have done it for an extended period of time. But yeah, I think it's time to move on from, having both of them in the team. I think one of them or the other can play, but probably not both. Going back to the point of booing the captains, you know, in every major sport this happens. You go to Yankee Stadium, you go to Boston, the best of the best get booed. So as athletes, I think you need to have a thick skin. I'm hoping that Hardik Pandya does, and it's not affecting him, in making the right decisions. Obviously, it is disheartening given the fact that he's come back and whatnot. But results speak for themselves. If Mumbai Indians were winning, I don't think the booing continues. But since they've lost three at a trot, I think it's valid. Results speak for themselves.
Yeah, results will speak. So let's move on from Mumbai and RCB because there are some 8 other teams out there. But let's move to since we've got a passionate Gujarat Titans fan here. What's with Shubman Gill? He's average of 87 in Ahmedabad and 27 outside. Are we going to be playing the World Cup in Ahmedabad every game? What's with that?
So, first of all, the average of 87 in Ahmedabad and 27 everywhere, that's in IPL. He has in international T20 cricket, he has a very consistent average inside India and outside India. And in Test cricket, his average outside India is actually even greater than India. So I just wanted to clarify that. So in IPL, in IPL, the way the teams plan, right, is you have 7 games at home and you have 7 games outside home. You try to maximize on the 7 games at home, and you want to win some games outside, right? And it happens to be the case. It's a 2-year data where he scored a lot of runs in Ahmedabad. Now that also with the fact that when he made his debut, he scored 100 in Ahmedabad, both in Test cricket and ODI cricket, and in T20 international cricket, right? So I think there is a perception. The other piece, which I think is tactical, is Ahmedabad pitch aids fast bowlers, right? And he plays fast bowlers much better than much better than a lot of the other people. Or I would say he plays fast bowlers better than he plays spinners, right?
All right,
So he scored
we
more
don't have
runs.
enough data. Let's wait for more data, maybe another 2 years, and then we'll see if these
Yes.
stats actually line up. Let's talk about the Sunrisers. That team, when I saw that team with they had everybody from the world, from a foreign player standpoint, their squad they could have made 11 with the foreign players. And it just looked like they would not be able to figure out who the 4 foreign players are going to be. Look like a team that's already going to be, 8th, 9th, or 10th, and suddenly they're 2-2. Like,
Well,
is this just it's a fluke, and they're going to eventually be 8th, 9th, 10th, or do you think this team actually has some chance to make the playoffs?
so I'll start. To me, yeah, Sunrisers have a pretty strong core, both international as well as of domestic players. But if you look at the stats from this year, although they have scored the second most runs in the IPL, they have also given up the third most runs in the IPL. And I think that's pretty reflective of where they are because they seem to be hot, cold, hot, cold. They've alternated wins and losses so far. And I think what is going to get SRH over the line is going to have to be their bowling if they are to stand a chance. What I don't like as much is Pat Cummins coming in at the 5th over or even later. And in a couple of games, he even bowled himself out before the 17th through the 20th over, which is usually when you kind of want your aces to step up. I think as the season goes along, Pat's going to realize that that's probably not working as well because he is a wicket-taking bowler. And I think I don't mind giving up a few runs at the end as long as he's always in the hunt for wickets. The other thing about Sunrisers Hyderabad that I've long sort of wondered is how are they going to do outside of Hyderabad? I think they have a pretty strong record in Hyderabad, but outside of Hyderabad, they've always struggled. So I'm still not fully convinced about SRH. I'm going to have to see a bit more of how they perform. Obviously, they beat RCB in one of the finals, but they have also lost
Does
in a
that say
couple of
anything?
finals.
No. The way RCB is playing.
No,
Well,
so in the finals in 2009 in South Africa is what you're saying.
right,
So,
exactly.
so let me add historically, such long tournaments are won by teams that have the best bowling, and I think SRH has the best explosive batting, so they can bat people out. But as the tournament progresses and the pitches start getting tired, and they are in different grounds, their bowling may not be able to stand the test of time. And but what is working for them, this is my opinion, the tactical brilliance in captaincy, especially while fielding, that Pat Cummins is displaying, right? So that is working for them, and their explosive batting is working for them. But I want to see a day when they are 40 for 3 or 50 for 3, right? And how do they cope with that?
Let's see. I mean,
Hmm.
for most likely, they're going to be in the bottom. So
Yeah, I think they
we're
have.
kind of running
No,
out of
I
time.
don't think. I think they will be contenders for the fourth spot with run rates, and they may or may not make it. I want that team to make it because it plays some exciting cricket. I love watching Hyderabad play, so I want
I
to see them
think
in playoffs.
They're not
I
going to
think
make
they
it.
have a
So
very similar problem to Bombay or to Mumbai, is that they don't have an ace spinner, right? If you look at, who really
That's a
makes a
great
big
point.
impact in the
That's a
in the
great
in the
point.
middle overs, is that that good, like CSK has Tikshana, has Jadeja, even Moeen Ali can bowl a few in the middle overs. Titans obviously has Rashid Khan and Noor.
No,
So you look at some of these top teams, they really have a very well balanced squad. There's no doubt. I think right now KKR and SRH have probably the two most explosive batting lineups. KKR obviously has Sunil Narine as well, who's doing a phenomenal job. But SRH, I think, lacks that spinner. I don't know if if the trade window opens up at the middle of the season, if they're going to target somebody or not, or maybe bring somebody in. I think that's probably what's going to help them get over the line. Because as I mentioned, I mean, the amount of runs that they're giving up, even in the game that they scored 270 whatever, they broke the record. I think Mumbai got about 240 in that game, right? So I think that's where that's probably what's going to hold them back. If they can fix that gap, I do see them contending for that fourth spot, maybe even
Hyderabad is
third.
going to suck, man. I'm telling you. They're going to be at the bottom, just above Mumbai, RCB, and Delhi. All right. We're out
Manu,
of
that's
time
for you.
almost. So we've been fairly negative throughout this conversation, or at least I've been. So to bring some positivity into the mix, I have a question for both of y'all. Which cricketer or team you think almost has his or their ducks in a row?
I mean, I'm gonna go with the defending champions. I think you can't go against CSK given their phenomenal record in the past 16, 17 years. I think they've made playoffs like 12, 13 times out of those 16. Um, so I think they've lost a couple in a row, and part of it has to do with the learning curve that Rutu's facing. New captain, opener. I think his mind is sort of crowded right now. I think a couple of good conversations with MS is probably definitely going to help. Um, yeah, I think they have a top to bottom. They have a really really strong lineup, both batting, bowling, fielding. Depends on where the catch goes, but definitely batting and bowling, they've got their ducks in a row.
Cool. That's CSK for you. And Tarang, can you make it brief? Which cricketer or team you think has almost has his or their ducks in a row?
so for me, the cricketing ducks in a row is Rajasthan Royals, because they have uh, fast bowlers who can bowl in the power play. Uh, People like Sandeep Sharma who can bowl at the death. Two world two world class spinners in the middle. They have aggressors over the top, best openers, in my opinion, middle order players. So they have the best cricketing ducks in a row.
Got it.
Now,
So I think
I
that's
want
it.
to
You
also
just wanted a
mention
brief,
KKR has the
but you both
KKR
got
has
it
the
wrong.
ass ducks in the row.
So guys, both of y'all got that answer wrong. The cricketer who almost has all his ducks in a row is actually Glenn Maxwell, who got 1 run today, or else he would have had 3 ducks in 5 games this IPL. So that was my sledge of the week. And with that, thank you for joining me, and join us for IPL Week 3 next week.
Look
Go
forward
Rishabh
to
Pant.
it. Thank you. Go Titans.